Today's reading is going to focus on the soul contract between you and your future partner or your current partner. We will look at what you're here to experience together. I have 3 options for you to choose from today. Let's take a closer look and we'll get into your readings. For group 1, we have this snake shed in a bottle. For group 2, we have citrine. For group 3, we have blue goldstone. Okay, take your time if you need it. You can always watch more than one group. You can also always switch to another if you're not vibing with the first one you pick. Meet me in your reading when you're ready. Hi, group 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the snake shed. Today, we're looking at the soul contract between you and your future or your current partner. We have a card that represents that, and we are using the Mystical Cats Tarot for everybody today. So let's turn over this card, take a look, and then we'll start drawing some tarot cards for you. So when it comes to the soul contract, the purpose of your connection with your future or current partner, we have the big medicine wheel. And in this deck, this relates to the world. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is karmic patterns, past life patterns. What I think of when I look at this card and what comes forward is this feeling that either just you or both of you has had a good amount of past lives dealing with marriage or love partnership in a way that was not necessarily easy or fun, or it was like in past lives you married because you had to, because it was a contract versus it being love, or something about the way that past life relationships went for you. It is meant to change and be different in this life. So if you have any information about past life stuff, about the way that relationships have gone for you in past lives. And also, if you know anything about your astrology chart and you know anything about your South Node, this can also tell you a little bit about how things have been in the past for you. Your South Node doesn't always relate to relationships, but sometimes it does. So what I'm seeing here is that this person that you're meant to be with, that you have a soul contract with in this lifetime, is a very powerful union, a very powerful partnership, and a very powerful contract. This isn't just you being with anybody. Maybe you have in the past, but this person you are meant to be with because it changes something like bigger than this life. It changes a pattern that goes past lifetimes. Like this is literally a soul pattern, not just a you in this life pattern, although it can have shown up in your dating life. Like if you've kind of always dated the same type of person and it hasn't been right, or if you feel like this constant pressure to be with someone other people approve of, something like this could have happened. And yet you're supposed to be with somebody that changes direction, that changes the trajectory, that changes your pattern, someone very different and very meaningful. And this certainly would not be someone that you would feel something big with this person. I mean, it could be when you first meet them, or it could be as you're getting to know them. This feels very different. This feels very big. This feels very important in some way, even if it's on a subtle level. We have the snake here, which says to me that there is like a transformation happening, a transmutation. Something is being redesigned here in your partnership life. And this person in this contract that you have between you is bigger than just like changing a relationship pattern. This is like a life thing. This is definitely someone that either you are going to be with for the rest of your life, or this is like one of your big major relationships in this life, because of how much it transforms not only your ideas about relationship and what that can mean for you, but it changes things about how you both are in the world. It changes the trajectory of your life. It changes things on a big level, even when it feels subtle. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I just am now seeing how much has changed. And with all this green here, it's making me think heart chakra and again, something changing around love. So this is somebody that you are meant to have a love relationship with, where it isn't just, it makes sense for us to be together. There's a strong sense of love for the other person and a sense of joy of being together. And it also works for both of your lives. So yeah, this is like new paradigm, something new being created, something new happening that feels very meaningful, and it also feels very faded. This is not the Wheel of Fortune card in this deck. The small medicine wheel is, I think, but it's still giving me Wheel of Fortune vibes and the strong feeling of fate and the strong feeling of change and cycles changing and old things moving. And because this is the World card, it's like it's got completion energy, happy completion energy. So it's like when you've been feeling like you've been spinning your wheels in life, when you feel like you've been spinning your wheels in relationships, when you feel like you don't know how to get out of some kind of pattern or trap you've been in, this is like boom, big bang, change everything energy. But it's not scary. It's not like this person comes in and your whole life changes in a second. It's just that the influence you have on one another, the connection you have with one another is overall big and meaningful for your life, especially at the end of your life. When you look back, it's like, certain people meant so much more. Certain experiences meant so much more. And sometimes some things are hard or challenging or traumatic. And that's why it makes such an impact, because of like how it affects you and how it changes you. This is overall very, very positive change, but it doesn't come like it has, what's the word? It has challenges, because this isn't like easy breezy, everything is perfect energy. This is transformative change, which means like, yes, it's coming through as very like big love, big change, big energy. And also like there are challenges with that, of course. The purple is making me think of like psychic abilities. And so this might be someone that one or both of you have had dreams about the other before you came in, or you have some kind of a very psychic connection. Like you can tell what one another's thinking when you're in different places. There's something there with you as well. And this soul is someone you have known before. This isn't a new soul that you are just getting to know in this life. This is someone that you guys know each other on a soul level. You've had other lives together. You have a relationship and a connection that already exists before you are these two people in this life. So this is also part of the reason it feels so powerful. And it is very possible that this is somebody you have had romantic relationships in past lives with, and it wasn't like there were challenges and things that you, on a soul level, you both were like, this time we want it to be like fun. We want it to be happy. We want it to be powerful in a way that's very like grounding and uplifting. So if there were challenges in past lives, some of that's being moved out of the way so that you can experience your soul connection here in a way that's more positive. But it also could be that this is a soul that you were like friends with in past lives. And because you had to be in marriages that were determined by your family or by your circumstances or things like that, and you always had this really strong connection to this soul in past lives, and now you finally get to be partners and be in love. So let's why do I feel like I can't speak suddenly? Let's look at what you're both meant to experience or heal together beyond what we've already said. So for group one, with their partner, What are they meant to experience or heal together? We have strength. Let's get another. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. For some reason, I'm like, do I want to get let's get one more. Okay, and we have the Nine of Swords. So we're going to set this over here and focus on these for a second. Okay. So what are you meant to experience or heal together? There's a lot of, wow, this is like a very powerful connection. I mean, it's just like, it's big. It's very, very powerful. So, I mean, of course we see the flames here and we see strength and we see this intense Nine of Swords. So there's a lot of that energy, but something I want to say with the Ace of Wands, oftentimes this can be about attraction and fire and passion with another person. And so this leads me again to this idea that in the past, you weren't necessarily in like romantic relationships in past lives that were where you were really attracted to the other person, where you felt a lot for the other person. I feel like the past contracts in past lives were like business contracts. And now you have a soul contract where on the other side, you both decided we want to be together and experience something really powerful with a lot of love and excitement and energy for one another. So that's something that's happening here. We also see this like firecracker going off and this lightning. And so even though this isn't necessarily usually a positive card, we still see this electricity kind of happening, but it's also balanced. So this is making me think, this Nine of Swords is making me think again about past lives. Like that's really coming through for you where you may have gotten punished for being involved with someone that you had real feelings for, or your past life families or communities didn't approve of who you'd chosen for yourself. Like there's a strong feeling of punishment coming through and feeling like you got in trouble for or got hurt because of relationships with people you were actually into, or you were actually attracted to, or you actually felt something for. And so there might be some fear that still lives within you, in your energy and in your soul, around choosing someone you feel strong feelings for. And I wonder if this has manifested for some of you in like being with people you felt a strong attraction for, but then it was like a really bad relationship. It's almost like if that's happened for you, the way it feels is like almost like choosing a situation that's going to punish you because it's something that your soul has known in some way. So it's like a repetition of that instead of like outside people punishing you for the relationship. It's almost like you're choosing to punish yourself in some way, in a subconscious way. You obviously wouldn't do this consciously, but it's almost like you're choosing somebody who you have fire for. Like at first it's like, wow, attraction, fireworks. And then they're really, really bad for you. And so it's like it hurts you all over again. And so there's something here where you're meant to heal this pattern, whether it's shown up in that way or in another way. You're not meant to keep experiencing punishment around relationships or around your choices when it comes to relationships and when it comes to things that you feel passion for. So you're meant to feel much more safe and calm and relaxed. You're not meant to experience a lot of anxiety, turmoil, chaos, things burning up too fast. You're not meant to be experiencing that stuff anymore in relationships. So part of this soul connection and this connection coming together in this lifetime is about healing patterns that have shown up in this life and patterns that have shown up in past lives. And you're meant to you're meant to have more tranquility as well as passion. So it's like you're not meant to be afraid of relationships, and coming together with this person really helps heal old stuff, old beliefs subconscious patterns as well as old fears that you don't need to have anymore, and to help you be more in an experience and a mindset of trusting yourself, trusting that relationships can be positive, trusting that you can be attracted to someone and it can be wonderful. So there's things kind of happening with all these old patterns and beliefs and fears. So let's get a little bit more information. So let's get some more information for group 1. Did I call you group 2 earlier? I feel like in the last few I've done it, I keep feeling like I call group 1 group 2. So for group 1, we have the 6 of Swords. Let's get some more information. Okay, we've got the 3 of Swords and the Priest, which is the Hierophant. So yeah, there's some kind of similar energies, and it actually feels like it's a little bit on both sides here. So for both of you, it seems like possibly in this life, you've both experienced difficulty in relationships, very tumultuous, chaotic, stressful, or difficult relationships with people who have broken your heart or betrayed you or were just super frustrating to deal with or caused a lot of anxiety. And even if that's not the case, if you've maybe even always been single, maybe you've been a little bit afraid of love or afraid of close relationships, or you've seen your parents had a tumultuous relationship, or you see the people around you have relationships that seem stressful. There's something about either your experiences in this life or what you've seen modeled for you. And it's kicked up some like either fear or resistance or resentment or not wanting to deal with it at all. And it kind of seems like it's on both sides. Like you've dealt with something, this person's dealt with something. It's either been kind of the same things, or either way, it's what I'm describing. Like maybe one of you has had very difficult relationships. One of you has been more single, but like maybe afraid of relationships. I would say that, you know, if you've been listening and you're like, no, I've had pretty easy relationships, they were just kind of boring, this probably isn't your group, because it does feel like there's been a lot of kind of big feelings and that there's something big really changing between the two of you. And that, yeah, I think also one or both of you may be a little bit scared of like traditional relationships, or scared to get married, or you've never wanted to get married. So you may be like, yeah, I want to be with someone, but I don't want to get married. Or like you have all these ideas about marriage being a bad thing, or like you maybe want to get married, but you're scared of it. It's like at least one of you is kind of feeling that, but I wonder if it's both of you. And so there's something around kind of like not wanting to commit to something like that, even if you do want a long-term relationship. And so something that's healing together with you is this leaving old chaos behind and leaving old fears behind and moving in a direction of like calm, happy, relaxing partnership, and having kind of some quote unquote traditional things like committing to one another, moving in together, choosing to get married, or just this can also be about growth and learning together and really taking the time to learn together. So basically the biggest thing I see here is that, you know, this soul contract, the purpose of you two choosing to be together in this life is to kind of rinse away, cleanse, and remove these old patterns. And more than likely, they have already shown up in this life, and you're kind of sick of it, or you're sick of being afraid, or you're sick of dealing with difficulty. And one or both of you may have chosen a path of being very alone, of being self-sufficient, not getting too close to people, but all this is gonna change. It's like there's this, I'm seeing like a big waterfall, like a loud waterfall. It's like beautiful, but it's very loud and very intense, and it's just crashing down and clearing stuff out. It's like I see kind of this murky water, you know, when there's like still water and it doesn't move very much and it gets kind of like gross and murky and sludgy. It's like this waterfall is like rinsing it out, cleansing it out, and like bringing a fresh, clear, cleansed energy. And it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's magical. And yet it does feel a little bit intense and a little bit scary and a little bit loud, but it's not chaotic in the way that maybe people you've dealt with have been chaotic. So this connection changes you both in a way that allows you to have a new kind of partnership that feels more safe and steady, and really allows for you both to be individuals together, and allows for you to be calm and to grow and to learn, and not have tumultuous, chaotic turmoil and distress. This is cleansing out old fears, old anxiety, and old like gross stuff, and allows for you to have like passion and joy, and to be a little bit bored sometimes and that be a good thing, and like to be excited and it not turn into something. It's like whatever you've dealt with before, this is different, and you're both growing and learning together. So finally, let's just get one or two cards to see what else you may need to know about this. Okay, so we have the Wheel and we have the Seven of Pentacles. How funny. Like, I know I said this isn't the Wheel of Fortune, but it's still a wheel. Look at this. We start with this, we end with this. And that makes me think again about cycles and the beginning and the end of something, and starting anew and trying something again in a different way, a better way. So yeah, and the Seven of Pentacles is about continuing to keep going, to not give up, to give. This really feels like giving something a chance. And so I think what you're meant to know is that you're not meant to give up. You're not meant to give up on love or relationships. And that, you know, the 7 is making me think of the 7th house in astrology, which is a relationship house. So this is not giving up on relationships, not giving up on closeness, not giving up on life, not giving up on the fact that things could change, even if things have been the same for a long time, even if you keep trying and you don't see yourself moving forward, or you don't meet anyone that feels like they mean anything to you. Things are moving and things are shifting, and you may not see it just yet. You can't see it. Like, look at this dark little, you can't see what's in there. And, there are some fears here. There's a feeling of, you know, being a little bit afraid, being a little bit unsure, being tired, and kind of just, there's this energy of sort of just wanting to take a nap and forget about all of it. But there's also, sometimes I feel like all the things coming into, like energetically coming in, I don't always know how to express them well. And I feel like I'm just saying words that don't matter. So I hope that you're picking up on what I'm trying to say and what I'm getting here. But also what I see in this 7 of Pentacles are these tree roots. It's like you're digging deeper and deeper and deeper into the root of things. And so sometimes that can be a slow, difficult process that feels like it's taking forever, feels like you don't make any, like you're not getting it anywhere. It's like this feeling of like spinning on a hamster wheel and nothing's really changing, but truly you're getting deeper into something and you're about to discover something new. There are some fears, and that's okay. There's some feeling of not wanting to continue, and that's okay. But what you need to know is there is something meant for you that is going to change your life. And there are things changing, whether you can see it or feel it or not. And the thing is, when we see the wheel, this also talks about divine timing, and everybody hates divine timing, right? Because we want things to happen on our schedule. We want things to happen when we want them to. And yet there are things that we don't understand, things that we don't see, things in the background happening that create timing that is right. And while it may not be the timing we want, it is the timing we'll ultimately probably be the most grateful for, because it is the most right. So I don't want to say the same things over and over, but basically this is a really interesting and really cool connection that is meant for you. And if you're already in it, great. If you're not, this message is for you. Just keep going. You're on your way there, and you don't have to do it all alone. Okay. That's all I have for you today, Group 1. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you enjoyed this reading or found it helpful, let me know by liking the video. Leave a comment if you're up for it, and I'll see you again soon. Okay? Bye. Hi, Group 2. You chose the citrine. Welcome to your reading today. We are looking at the soul contract between you and your future or current partner. So we have a card here to represent that, and then we will get into some tarot to get more information. So for you, the soul contract, the purpose of your connection is 6 of Water, pleasure. So this makes me really, really happy to see. So this is a lot of fun. So the last group, also really good, but a different vibe. So what we have here, this is fun. So what you are meant to experience, the soul contract that you have devised and signed with this other soul, this person that you're meant to be with in this lifetime, is to have a relationship and an effect on one another that is joyous, that is fun, that is pleasurable and satisfying and happy and all of these things. So this isn't a relationship where it's all about learning lessons, or it's all about both of you growing and changing and learning soul lessons. There probably will be lessons learned. There will be growth that happens between you. And certainly we see growth happening here, but it's happening in really overall joyous and happy ways. So this is positive growth. It is quick growth. It is happy growth. It is pleasure, joy, contentment, happiness, fun. This is also feeling really healthy. This is a very healthy relationship between the two of you, and it enhances both of you feeling healthy. So this is emotional health, mental health, physical health, and overall feeling kind of like harmonious and fulfilled. This is also a card of feeling relaxed and safe. And so there's all these nice positive words I can say about what this is. And I wonder if your reading's going to be a little bit shorter, because overall, this just really indicates being really, really happy with somebody else, and it impacting you on multiple levels. It makes your life feel happier. It makes your day-to-day feel happier. Your health overall is better and lighter. And I think that whether you're a happy person already, this just makes you even more happy and peaceful, and it ripples out to other people in your life. So at your workplace, in your friendships, in your family, whoever and wherever you are, this happiness ripples out to other people. So not only is this like a huge blessing for you and the other person that you're going to be with, but this is a gift that just flows out to other people. I mean, we see this water coming down, and it's like it blesses you, and it blesses the people closest to you, and it blesses the people closest to them, and it just blesses your community and the world. And so this isn't just like, oh, finally I get to be happy. It is that, but it's also like literally part of you two choosing this happy relationship with each other is that it literally gives like the earth, Mother Earth, and like everyone on the earth also a blessing too, because your happiness makes other people happy. And we don't need to just slog through life every day learning hard lessons. Like, we can also be here and be happy and be at peace and enjoy what life has to offer. And so one of the things that your relationship does for the world is offer more happiness and an example of joy and an energy of joy that can spread to other people. And I will say there's probably going to be people that are resistant to joy and resistant to other people's joy and have jealousy and envy arise and don't like to see you so happy, either because they want to be happy and they perceive you as being happy as them having like lack in that way, or someone in your life wants more of your time and attention, so doesn't want you to be happy with someone else, because then you may compare the two and like not spend as much time with this. I don't know. There could be things coming up with that. So just FYI. But let's get some tarot cards and find out a little bit more about what you're meant to experience or heal together. We have the High Priestess. What else is group 2 meant to experience or heal together? We have the King of Pentacles. And that's 2 cards, so I just want one more card. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords. I don't read reversals, if you noticed that. If you've been watching me for a while, you probably have noticed that. But I just don't find it necessary personally. So what you're meant to experience and heal together. Well, I want to say, like, we have, again, really happy, really positive, really lovely energy, but it's also, it's big energy, but it's not heavy energy. It's big, but it's also very light. And we see that reflected here in the Ace of Swords, where instead of a strong, heavy sword, we see this floaty flag in the sky. So this is an important connection, an important relationship. And that's, of course it is. If there's a soul contract, it feels more important, more meaningful than someone that comes our way that we don't have any kind of a plan with. So there is purpose here. And yet again, very light, very joyful. The color yellow really stands out to me and speaks again of joy, of light, of playfulness. And the swords isn't really a suit that normally has that energy to it. Swords tend to be mental. They can be heavy. They can be about like clear thinking and all this stuff. And none of that's bad. I mean, I don't think heaviness is the best, but this is very, very light, and it does feel like clarity, actually. So, and it feels like clarity about joy. So something that you're meant to experience and heal together is joy. So if one or both of you isn't always aligned with joy, if maybe you've been depressed for a long time and you might be like a nice smiley person, but you're not always happy, this could be talking about how this really changes for you. If you are normally pretty happy, but your relationships haven't really been, there's something about this where there's clarity around joy and feeling more consistently aligned with the energy of joy and aligned with feeling grounded in joy with this King of Pentacles. This could also speak to the two of you. There's kind of an energy of these two being aligned. So you could be the High Priestess or you could be the King of Pentacles, regardless of your gender and the other person's. But this could also talk about how you have some things in common and some things that are very different, and how this experience together is a joyful one. So sometimes when you are in connection with someone very different from you, there can be a lot of clashing. But what it feels like here is that the differences are very obvious, and yet there's something about the two of you coming together where it's not clashing. It's like, oh, you're very different in this way, but it actually reflects how I'm different in this way. Because, okay, so the High Priestess can be very psychic, intuitive, dreamy, because this can be the psychic card. And we have all this purpley, these crystals, which can seem mystical and spiritual. And then we have this like earthy, grounded in the dirt, in the plants, in the rocks, but, different, right? Grounded, spiritual, and yet they're both rocks. So, these crystals are part of the earth, having formed, hundreds of thousands or millions of years ago. And so do you kind of get what I'm trying to say? Like very different vibes, different energies, different colors, and yet it's both earth, it's both grounded, it's both rocks. So it's like the way that you're personalities or your interests or the things you talk about express themselves may on the surface seem very different. You may seem like opposites, but in reality, you're actually quite aligned. And this isn't really interesting visual that I'm getting, but it's like two like hair combs, like kind of just connecting to one another. Like it's like I don't know, the teeth in the combs. I don't know what that's all about, but it's like you're different and yet it makes sense. I struggle sometimes to articulate what I get. And so I just really hope that people understand what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I'm going to pull some more cards. How about that? How does this connection change group 2 and their person? We have the Page of Cups, the 2 of Swords. Let's get one more. We did. Okay, it's the Moon. Great. Well, it first kind of feels like, I almost feel like this card goes with this one and this one goes with this one. And so we're going to kind of go with that at first. So if one of you is the more intuitive, dreamy, maybe a water sign, which certainly could be the case with the Page of Cups as well. If one of you is kind of more mystical or more spiritual or just more in tune with their intuitive side, then something that changes for you or the other one of you, if you were this one, but for some reason, I think most of you are this one. Something that may change for you is your openness to this relationship, to having a relationship that truly is joyful, that truly is fulfilling in a lighter way, that doesn't feel heavy or serious or like you have to change a million things or grow or learn lessons or teach the other person lessons. I think that if you've experienced love in the past that's been more hard or difficult, this connection changes your expectations of love and relationship and your idea of what it needs to be and what feels good. And it's like allowing yourself to be happy and have fun without looking for the part of it that has to be difficult. It's like for some of you, I kind of think like you look for how it's going to be hard, or like, you're like, no, I want something fun and happy. That sounds great. But I think that, if you haven't had that before, when you get involved with this person, you either might be scared that you're like, okay, when does the hard part come? Like, you're like, yeah, this is fun. But like, you're like a little bit on edge, or like, you're kind of vigilant, like you're being like, okay, but when's the hard part gonna come? So that could be happening for some of you. It may not be for everybody, but I think that even if you've been very open in the past, there's a part of you that may be hold back a little bit when this person comes in, and but you're going to realize maybe very quickly, maybe over time, that you actually can be happy and have fun. And while there may be challenges, it doesn't necessarily mean the same things those challenges may have met in the past with other people, and that you can be very open, and that you can kind of let down your guard. Like this high priestess is in this like crystal cave. And while it's very beautiful, it's like you've created this beautiful cave to live in, and you're like very connected to the spiritual realm, or you're very connected to yourself or your intuitive abilities or whatever makes you happy and feel like things are nice and pretty or whatever around you. It's still like a cave. So there's something about this relationship that allows you to step outside of yourself, step outside of your guardedness, step outside of your beautiful cave, and experience something new in the world again. And this other person, whether it's the other person or you, this King of Pentacles, is paired with this Two of Swords. And these little flags from the Ace of Swords are showing up in this Two of Swords as well. And so I think this person, also similar to you, you can reverse you and this person if I'm getting it wrong for you, but I'm going to talk about this as if it's the other person. So This person may have also had difficulty in relationships, or is maybe even indecisive about getting into a relationship again, and really wanting to be sure about what to do, where to go, who to move toward. And I think that, we've got this King of Pentacles walking on this little path, and then it's just stopped and laying here, which, can be maybe a nice little break. Like, this is a good place to stop. But if you're walking on a path, how often do you just sit in the middle of the path? You get off the path and take a break. It's almost as if this person isn't willing to continue down a path. And yet, with the Two of Swords, it's like, you've got to pick a direction, man. Like, you have to continue. You can go this way or you can go that way. So I think something about how this connection changes this person is helping them to be more decisive, motivated, inspired, and willing to kind of move toward life again, move toward relationship again. I think that you both sort of are learning from one another how to open up again, and how to open up to something happy, and how to have something happy without having to make it serious. Like, this isn't that you can't have a serious relationship, because this is a soul contract. This is a serious relationship in a lot of ways. This is a meaningful connection. What I mean by you guys not making it serious is like enjoying the joy of it without looking for how it's going to turn on you, or enjoying the fun without, I don't know. Do you kind of know what I'm saying? Like, without having to make something into something that isn't happening, like someone not picking a fight, like just being like, we're having fun today. Let's have fun today. Let's not find something wrong with this. Or like, there's something about the energies within you of like stubbornness, control, resistance. These kinds of things are kind of allowed to be swept away with the wind and moved away. And it's not that you're going to be perfect and you're never going to try to control anything ever again, but the connection with one another is kind of allowing you both to have a lighter energy if you allow it. And so it changes that about both of you, and it becomes this kind of much lighter, happier thing. Yeah, the moon is kind of saying the same thing to me. It's saying that you likely both have some fears around relationship, fears around commitment, fears around getting close to someone else, especially when you don't know everything about them, especially when you don't have all the information. And yet you're meant to trust your intuition, you're meant to trust your gut, and you're meant to move forward anyway. So finally, I wanted to get another card or two on what else you may need to know. So for group 2, what else do they need to know? We have Cat Magic, which is the Magician. Let's get another. Okay, and we have the 10 of Cups. So again, we have really happy energy here with you, and this is really nice. Like, lots of emotional happiness, fulfillment, and joy. And again, I get this kind of sense of like one of you, both of you maybe being hyper vigilant in the past because you had to learn to be, either because of your romantic relationships or relationships when you were young. But finally, it's being able to kind of release that, and also to welcome the other people in your life, welcome this person into your community that already exists. Be welcomed into their community that already exists, or to create one together. That's very happy. For some of you, this is about creating a family together. And this is, this relationship is like what you've been manifesting, what you've been wanting, what you've been asking for, what you've been hoping for. This card can be about manifestation. And so if you have been actively manifesting, or even saying like, this is what I want, I'm going to try to manifest it, I don't think you even really need to do anything else. But this is kind of saying, if you've made a list, if you've decided this is what I want, like this, this is kind of like, this feels like putting a little potion together. It's like, okay, if I'm going to make my perfect person and my perfect relationship, I'm going to put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like joy, attraction, similar hobbies, like whatever it is for you that you want, or like, someone who smiles, someone who laughs, whatever it is for you. It's like you kind of like somehow made this little potion and it's coming to fruition. It's going to be everything you want it to be and more. And it's very happy. And yet, again, I keep feeling like I need to tell you, it doesn't have to be so serious. If you've been trying to control this, like with manifesting, for example, let go of trying to control it at this point. You've done everything you need to do. Just, if you're working on something now, great, keep working on it. If you're working on yourself, if you're working through old patterns, sure. But, things are kind of already in the works. You've already done things to draw this in, and this is going to be very happy for you. And that's really all I've got to say, group 1. So I'm sorry, group 2. So thank you so much for spending time with me. If you enjoyed this reading or found it helpful, please let me know by liking the video. Leave a comment if you're up for it, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, group 3. You chose the blue goldstone. Welcome to your reading. I am just extra dazzled by the sparkles on this today, and I don't know if it's because of the way the light's coming in the window right now, but isn't it pretty? So today we're looking at the soul contract between you and your future or current partner. I have really been talking about them like they're your future partner. So if it's your current partner, just change the tense of the words that I'm saying. We're going to start with this card. We will move into some tarot cards once we look at this one. So this represents the soul contract between you and your person, the purpose of your connection, and what you have is the Lovers. Okay. So, oh my gosh, the 2 little frogs. Okay, so this is really cool. This is a very intense connection, not in a way where this is intense in a good way. Okay, this is a positive feeling that comes through right off the bat. This card in this deck does talk a little bit about surrender and surrendering to love, surrendering to the love of another person, having faith in love. And so there could be a hanging on, a holding on, a fear that comes along with this a little bit, because I think your feelings for this person are going to be pretty strong, pretty powerful, and very intense. And while this may be something you really wanted to experience, it could feel kind of consuming at first, or kind of all encompassing in a way that feels a little bit almost like alarming to your mind. Like it's like you almost want to like merge with this person, and you're like, no, it's not healthy to merge with people. Or like you just want to spend all your time with this person. You're like, I don't want to be that person that has to spend all my time with someone else. Some of you could be fighting this a little bit because it's like, oh my God, like I have no control. Like the feelings that I feel for this person are making me feel literally out of control. So I think that could be happening, especially like initially as you get more involved with this person. But over time, the Lovers is a card of long-term choices, long-term commitments and decisions, and long-term love partnerships. So if you are meeting someone that you're going to be with for the rest of your life, you're not going to feel overtaken by this every day for the rest of your life. Eventually things will kind of settle and become more grounded. But I think that this might feel a little bit ungrounding to some of you when you're used to having a little bit more control over your feelings or your day-to-day or your life or your relationships, because there's something between you and this person that is incredibly strong and powerful, and it is love. So it's not this isn't obsession. I mean, there may be some of that comes forward, and for some of you who have a tendency toward getting obsessed about people, that can be a little bit much at first, but the thing is what's going to be revealed between you is a true love. This is really like a true love. And it's it feels like this big unconditional love where, you know, we may feel unconditional love for people that we love in our lives, but we put limits and conditions on certain things to protect ourselves, or because it makes sense to. We can't just like 24/7 just be beaming love at everybody because we have to feed ourselves and like do other stuff. But there's something about this person that it's like, poof, the love light gets turned on and it's shining right towards them. And that could be a little bit alarming or scary, but this is a true soulmate. And so when it comes to like the soul contract and the purpose of your connection together, this is someone that, and you know, this did come through, I think, in group 1, but this is someone you definitely know on a soul level already. This is someone you already have a huge amount of love for, and there's love between you. So whether you have had a lot of past lives where there was a lot of love shared between you, and if that's the case, it doesn't feel like you would have had like a lot of complicated lives together. This feels like love that has grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. And so it's very exciting in a way to be reunited with this, even if you have other like soulmates in your life. If it's not that you've had a lot of past lives together, there's a strong soul connection like on the other side where you, as souls, you know each other very well and very deeply, and you've decided in this life that you want to come together and have a relationship that is romantic and very, very loving. And of course, a partnership comes with more than just like romance and love. This is also a love of the platonic side of your relationship, the friendship side of your relationship. It's a love for the passion between you. It's like all this other stuff. And you're also meant to, there's a lesson in here for one or for both of you of not letting the love atrophy or die. And you are meant to keep giving to it, even when this initial kind of intensity starts to calm down, because no matter how excited you are about something, the intensity of that excitement doesn't last forever. You know what I mean? Like if someone gives you a gift you're really excited for, you're really excited about it. But like you're not the same level of excitement from the time you get the gift for the next 20 years, you know, like, so while you may be very, very excited about this person at first, eventually it gets more grounded. And when it gets more grounded, you still need to ensure that you are connecting with this person, giving to this person. But it is going to feel like coming home, definitely. And another thing is, don't be so obsessed with how great this feels that you ignore the other aspects of your life or you ignore your other relationships. That's a message for some of you. So let's draw some tarot cards for you, group 3. What are you both meant to experience or heal together in this connection? We have the King of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Demon Cat, otherwise known as the Devil. Okay. It just always makes me laugh that it's called the Demon Cat. Okay, so what are you meant to experience or heal together? You're meant to experience a love that feels emotionally fulfilling, emotionally mature, and one where you're in tune with one another and that you respect one another's feelings and emotions. So you're meant to have a relationship like this where it just feels very emotionally open and connected and where there's a lot of love between you. And you're also meant to experience passion with this person and feel very like passionately, romantically involved and feel like there is excitement between you where you're also not getting hurt. So there was some of this in another group too. Sometimes there's this like thing that I see all throughout the groups, but I think there's a lot of healing for people right now collectively around relationship patterns and relationships that were unhealthy, because this is emotional healthiness, and this can be about feeling very trapped, controlled, sometimes dealing with toxic personality types. This can be like feeling attracted to somebody, but also getting burned or getting hurt, or like kind of feeling like you're walking on eggshells, or, you know, walking through a minefield, trying not to upset another person. So there's something here, not only collectively, but for you and for this relationship that you're meant to be in, where any old unhealthy patterns, whether they were perpetuated by you or that you were a victim of, or, you know, both, I don't know. This is not this energy. This is like moving away from that and not choosing that anymore, and instead choosing a different kind of love. And so you're meant to experience a different kind of love together and heal experiences that hurt you, and be like, allow love in, and allow yourself to receive love and care and trust and kindness and compassion, and allow someone else to love you and to hear you and to see you. I think some of you may really want this. You may want to be seen and understood and tell someone about the things that have happened to you. And yet either people don't listen, or you're afraid to truly let that out because you may face judgment or something like this. But together there's a communication, and like, I keep seeing like your heart chakra is very open, and like love kind of like beaming between each other. And so it's like, there's something happening where finally, as long as you allow yourself to be open, allow yourself to be truly vulnerable, and allow yourself to love, knowing that you may not receive what you want in return, there's something very healing in that for you. And that also you may find that someone really listens, really hears, and really understands, and that you feel very healed by either sharing the story of your life or sharing true love with somebody. And, of course, like, I always feel like I have to say, it's not going to be perfect, but it's a weirdly strong feeling that I don't get in readings a lot, where it's like, it's very open. It's like, heart chakra area, like in your chest. It's like, it's not only in the front, it's like I'm feeling it in the back. I'm feeling like an openness that extends through both sides and like beams out. And it's like something is opening in your heart, and opening, like clearing out old stuff. It's clearing out old patterns, old fears, memories of old people. It's clearing out like the need to control, because you can't, there's something uncontrollable about this, and it's meant to heal you on some level. I don't even know how to explain that any further, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's a very warm, very light, bright, but uncontrollable energy. And it's like you're channeling love through your heart chakra in a way that, like, you may already have like an open heart, but it's like a clearing out, beaming forward. I don't know. Let's see if we can get some more information on how this connection changes you. Okay, we have the Fire Kitten, which is the Page of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands here, Page of Wands here. Okay, and then we have the Tower, and we have Consequences, which is Justice. Interesting. Okay. There's, again, this kind of feeling of like not being able to control yourself or have control. And that that even though you could say that this is a negative card, you could even say that this looks pretty negative. And this, there is this feeling here, this kind of like fear of negativity, fear of being out of control, and what being out of control means. Because when you were a child, being out of control could have meant something like you being punished. Being out of control in a relationship could mean like being vulnerable to the other person hurting you. You know, whatever it is for you, there's a part of you that really needs to control and wants to control. And the thing is that this relationship, this connection with this person is kind of undoing some of that. It's not really allowing you to be fully in control. It's not allowing you to decide everything about how things are going to go. And I think that that can feel kind of scary. It can feel like your foundations are breaking away. It can feel like you are very scared of consequences and that you have a hard time like seeing objectively, because there's something so appealing about this that you end up just like putting your hand in the fire because you're like, I want to touch that. I don't care if it hurts me. So there's, whatever is happening between you, there's also a loosening of these structures that you've built within yourself to kind of keep control of things. And this is actually meant to happen. While it can feel unnerving, while it can feel scary, while there can be like a part of you trying to desperately hold on to and keep this from falling down, somehow, some way, you are meant to loosen your grip on control and trying to make sure that everything is right and everything is your way. And it's going to change this part of you, and it's going to loosen things up in you and allow you to live life in kind of a way that's a little bit more full, a little bit more free, more carefree. And I think there are going to be parts of you that don't like it, that really, really don't like it and want to have the reins. And yet there's something to really experience with letting old structures fall and letting yourself touch the fire and letting yourself experience life in a more full way. Because I think that you've gotten kind of tangled up in trying to create some kind of structure. You've gotten sort of like tangled up and you've tightened these knots, and it's time for these knots to be loosened and to like the wind to blow this stuff and to sweep it away, and for you to like leave this structure that you've been tangled up in and confused by and move outside and like be free again. It's like you're alone in here and the structure you've built for yourself to keep yourself safe. And yet it's getting kind of like old and dirty, and it's time for things to be fresh and new. It's kind of held you back and tied you into a place I don't think you really want to be anymore. And you're facing this way instead of like toward this open, free place. And so I think this connection with this person opens you up again to like this freer, open space where like being open is safe. Being out of control is maybe scary, but there's someone to catch you and someone to hold you. And I think that this is overall going to be really positive, but it's not going to feel positive to every part of you. I think like some parts of you are going to be like, like this isn't what I wanted. I'm scared. Yeah. So let's see what else you need to know. Maybe something that's a little bit grounding to hear, because this does feel like, whoa. So what else does group 3 need to hear about this? Okay. Oh my gosh. We have the lovers. Okay. The lovers and the lovers. And this is funny because was it group 1? We had a card at the end that kind of reflected the initial card. So we're having that with you again. Maybe you have messages in group 1. I don't know. Can we get another card? What else does group 3 need to know? We've got the Chariot. So this is really positive. Okay. So, again, this says to me that this person really could be long-term, forever kind of a partner, forever kind of a person. And that, this could be moving in very quickly toward you. And it certainly, again, feels kind of out of your control. You don't decide when it comes. You don't decide when it doesn't come. Like if you, right now, you're like, no, I want to be single for a while. It's like it comes in when you don't want it to come in. Or like if you've been like, I've been hoping forever that it's going to come in and it's still like taking its damn time. Something about it is like, again, out of your control, because again, you're meant to like, one of the things you're meant to learn through this relationship with this person. And honestly, I didn't get a whole lot about what they're meant to learn, I don't think. But what you're meant to learn is loosening your grip on things, loosening your desire to control. And, I think everybody has it, whether it's big or it's, big and loud or small and quiet. And, even though this could feel very intense at first, or you could feel like you are being very intense about it at first, Again, there's this energy of settling into it and it feeling kind of safer and quieter while still being passionate and joyous. And that instead of only relying on yourself, you're going to be able to rely on someone else. And that there's, this feels again very soulmatey, very much like someone you know on the soul level and someone that you have a great deal of energetic comfort with, but it can feel very alarming is the word that keeps coming to mind for some reason. Like it's alarming your system and it's almost like an alarm waking you up. It's like you were kind of asleep and then it's like out of nowhere, it's like the alarm goes off and it like shakes you and you're like, oh my God. So it's interesting because there's very peaceful energy and then there's very like, oh my God, this feels like a lot and I'm not sure what to do with all these feelings and I don't like how carried away I'm getting. And yet you're kind of meant to get a little bit carried away and you're meant to kind of come back down to earth as well. I don't know what else to say about that. So I'm going to leave it there, group 3. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this reading or found it helpful, please let me know by liking the video. Leave a comment if you feel up for it, and I'll see you again soon. Okay? Bye.